Did you know there's a time of day when showering can increase the risk of accidents by up to 80% for people over 60? This information could not only change your daily habits, but possibly save the life of a loved one. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to reveal data that many healthcare professionals don't usually share about the hidden risks in the most common routine: daily bathing. What you'll discover in this video won't just surprise you, but will give you practical tools to transform a potentially dangerous moment into a safe and comforting experience. If this information seems useful to you, I invite you to subscribe right now and activate the notification bell to receive more tips like this, especially designed to improve quality of life after 60. Let me share something personal. My name is Carlos, and 3 years ago, my 78-year-old father suffered a serious fall in the shower. It happened precisely during that critical time we'll talk about today, and nobody had warned us about this specific risk. He spent weeks recovering in the hospital and months in rehabilitation. This experience completely changed my perspective on something seemingly as innocuous as choosing when to shower. As a caregiver, and now a specialist in safety for seniors, I've deeply researched this topic and worked with dozens of families who have gone through similar situations. I perfectly understand the anguish of seeing a loved one vulnerable and the desire to do everything possible to protect them while respecting their independence and dignity. Before my specialization, I believed that installing support bars and using non-slip mats was enough. Now I know there's a whole world of factors that many of us don't know about, which can make the difference between safety and a serious accident. The first thing you should know, which many experts don't mention, is that our bodies experience significant physiological variations throughout the day. This directly affects our ability to perform everyday activities like showering. For example, a recent study from the Barcelona Institute of Gerontology discovered that our blood pressure and body temperature follow circadian patterns that can considerably increase risk at certain times of the day. Maria, one of my 72-year-old patients, used to shower every morning right after getting up. One day, she experienced a sudden dizziness and fell, fracturing her hip. What Maria didn't know was that she was showering precisely at the most dangerous time of day. After implementing the time change that I'll reveal in a few moments, she hasn't experienced similar problems in the last 2 years. If you're finding value in this information, I ask you to give this video a like. I'd also love to know your opinion in the comments, and if you know someone who could benefit from this information, share this video with that person. Your actions could literally prevent a serious accident. Most people believe that the greatest risk in the bathroom is exclusively related to slips on wet surfaces. This is a partial truth that has led us to incomplete solutions. The reality, surprisingly, is much more complex and has to do with our internal biology rather than external factors. What very few people know is that between 5:30 and 7:30 in the morning, a phenomenon known as morning hypertension occurs. During this period, the body experiences a natural but abrupt increase in blood pressure. For people over 60, especially those with pre-existing cardiovascular conditions, which represent approximately 68% of this demographic group, this pressure spike combined with the thermal change from the shower can trigger dizziness, momentary loss of vision, and even minor fainting spells. Carmen, 67, who suffers from mild hypertension, told me how for years she suffered episodes of disorientation after her morning showers. I thought it was normal to feel like this at my age, she confessed to me. When she changed her routine to shower between 10 and 11 hours in the morning, these symptoms disappeared completely. It's as if years have been taken off me, she told me during our last consultation. This critical time in the early morning becomes particularly dangerous because it coincides with other risk factors. We're just waking up. Our balance isn't completely restored. Our vision hasn't fully adapted to light. And our muscles are stiff after nighttime rest. It's the perfect storm for an accident. The second crucial factor we must understand is how water temperature interacts with our body at different times of the day. Contrary to what many think, a hot shower in the morning, although comforting, can amplify the risk. Heat dilates blood vessels, which can cause a sudden drop in pressure when leaving the bath, especially if we're already experiencing those natural morning fluctuations. Manuel, a retired 75-year-old teacher, regularly experienced what he called black curtains in front of his eyes after his hot morning showers. When he adjusted both the time and temperature of his bath, following the protocol I'll share shortly, these episodes stopped completely. What really surprised me in my research was discovering that our daily medications also play a fundamental role in this risk. Approximately 82% of people over 60 take at least one medication that can affect balance, blood pressure, or circulation. When these medications are at their peak activity, which is usually within the first few hours after taking them, they can dramatically magnify the risks associated with bathing. For those who cannot shower during this time, the second best option is between 4 rounds and 6 more in the afternoon, when we experience another period of physiological stability. The key is to avoid that critical early morning period. The case of Ramon, a retired 83-year-old farmer, perfectly illustrates the difference this change can make. For years, Ramon showered religiously at 6 in the morning, as he had done throughout his working life. After 2 minor falls in 1 month, his daughter suggested changing his routine. Initially resistant to change, he finally agreed to shower at 10:30. "I felt silly changing something so basic at my age," he told me. "But the difference has been like night and day. I feel safer, more stable, and enjoy my bath more. But changing the time isn't enough. There's a complete protocol I've developed that has been shown to reduce the risk of accidents by more than 90%. This protocol has 3 essential components. First, preparation before bathing. Before entering the bathroom, it's essential to perform a series of circulatory activation movements. This includes 5 minutes of gentle stretches focused on ankles, knees, and hips, followed by 10 deep breaths. This simple routine prepares the body for the changes in temperature and pressure it will experience. Anna, a 69-year-old client, incorporated this routine and noticed an immediate difference. "I never imagined something so simple could make such a big difference," she told me. "Now, I not only feel safer in the shower, but these exercises help me start the day with more energy." The second component is temperature management. Contrary to popular belief, for people over 60, it is recommended to start with lukewarm water, not hot, and gradually increase the temperature to a comfortable level, but never excessively hot. At the end, it's crucial to gradually reduce the temperature in the last 60 seconds. This process of thermal acclimatization minimizes the impact of temperature change on the cardiovascular system. Finally, the post-bath phase is equally important. I recommend sitting in a safe place outside the shower for at least 2 minutes before starting to dry off. This transition period allows the body to stabilize and dramatically reduces the risk of dizziness or fainting. The case of Elena, a retired 71-year-old lawyer, demonstrates the effectiveness of this comprehensive approach. After a scare in the shower that almost ended in tragedy, she implemented both the time change and the complete protocol. "At first it seemed excessive," she confessed, "but now it's a natural part of my routine. It has given me back the confidence I had lost." The most valuable thing about all this is that these measures not only prevent accidents, but transform the bathing experience from a moment of potential anxiety to a pleasant and rejuvenating routine. Many of my patients report that, following these recommendations, they enjoy their daily bath more and experience less fatigue afterward. For people who live alone, these precautions become even more important. Roberto, 78, who has lived independently since becoming a widower, installed a simple but effective system: a timer that rings every 5 minutes during his shower. If he doesn't turn it off, his neighbor knows she should check if he's okay. This additional safety measure, combined with the optimal schedule and bathing protocol, has allowed him to maintain his independence with peace of mind. The most recent research has also revealed a fascinating fact. Appropriate music during bathing can significantly improve balance and coordination in older people. A moderate rhythm, between 70-80 beats per minute, similar to resting heart rate, helps maintain more controlled movements and reduces the anxiety that some older people experience during bathing. It's also essential to consider daily medication in relation to bath time. If you take blood pressure medications, the ideal time to shower is when they have already been absorbed but are not at their peak action, generally 2 to 3 hours after taking them. Your doctor can help you determine this time precisely for your specific case. For those who care for elderly people, this knowledge is even more valuable. Laura, who cares for her 87-year-old mother with early signs of dementia, implemented these changes and observed a notable reduction in her mother's resistance to bathing. Before, it was a daily battle, she told me. Now, bathing her at 11 in the morning instead of first thing, she's more cooperative and less anxious. It's been a miraculous change for both of us. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect time to do so and activate the notification bell so you don't miss future videos with more tips on safety and well-being for seniors. Give this video a like, share it with someone who needs this information, and leave me a comment telling me about your experience or with any questions you have about this important topic. Remember, true safety doesn't just come from installing special equipment, but from understanding and respecting the natural rhythms of our body. Bathing can and should be a moment of enjoyment and renewal, not risk. As I always say to my patients, the wisdom of years deserves the protection of knowledge.